Hello and welcome to the Mortal Kombat Minute, the podcast where we analyze, criticize, and memorialize the 1995 film Mortal Kombat, one shadow lurking minute at a time. I'm Phil Casper from philcasper.net.
I'm the shadow lurking Spanish from GameFixShow.com.
And we are on minute number 15. This minute starts with Johnny Cage looking at Art Lean in disbelief as the spooky boat approaches. And it ends with Liu Kang looking off the deck of the spooky boat.
Spooky boat? I like it. Yeah,
spooky boat.
Obviously, from the last minute, you did finally see the red eye, right?
Yes, I finally saw the red eye from what you noted last minute, which very good find. For some reason, I just never caught it.
No, you're fine. What about the wing? Isn't it, the wing was weird?
The wing was weird.
Wing was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's fine. It could be a wing.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take away much, but I did obviously want to, point it out.
Yeah.
But as we see the boat, you said that Johnny Cage and Art Lean kind of look at each other. Johnny Cage actually says, "You've got to be kidding me!" Like, pretty much, that's pretty much the line that should be there. I feel like
this hunk of junk is going to be carrying us away.
Yeah,
it seems like
I am not like I'm almost like because you have to. He's a movie star. He's used to luxury, and he sees this, and it's quite a shock to the system, I would imagine.
Right, exactly. And but like the sails are tattered and everything, and it does look pretty desolate, I guess would be an appropriate word. But I like as the boat's coming up, and I just love the next shot coming from the viewpoint of the gangplank as it's lowering down to the dock with all the combatants down there, and Johnny Cage, of course, is first up with all his luggage.
It's like right at his feet. I love it.
Right, it's great, and Art Lean standing right next to him as per usual. And one guy in the background, I just noticed, I'm like, he kind of looks like Kenny G. Did you notice that? Like to the left, like with long hair. Yeah. It's like, okay. But there are significantly fewer combatants in this shot than we noted in the previous minute, where it's like it's almost like 30 people.
Here, I'll go first again this time. You ready?
Oh, sure.
Not counting Johnny Cage and Art Lean, I got 10.
Ooh, I have significantly more.
What?
Yes. So it like really far into the background, there are three people coming out of the shadow, and then in like the mid background, there are three more people. So then that's 6, and then the Kenny G line, we have another 3, so that's 9, and then 2, and then let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm counting 13.
Now I'm kicking myself. Okay, so I was off by 3. All right, but I do see exactly the 3 you're talking about, the 3 that I missed. So
okay.
Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, like so we have this shot, and then we move to more of a wide shot of all the of just the pier again, sparks flying, more sparks, of course more sparks.
Yep.
And then we spy someone lurking in the shadows of that shack all the way in the back.
Right. Well, before we get to that, you actually see Sonya and Jax. Sonya with the binoculars again.
Yep.
So you see that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't want to tell you you're wrong. But
no, I got you.
Wrong. Just kidding. So when the plant came out, right after that, it showed a close-up shot of Jax and Sonya.
Oh, fair enough.
And they're still looking. They're still observing. And then now you make
and then we have we're focusing on that shack in the background, which the shack actually set the sign on top says leasing, so it looks like this is where you would go to lease a boat or lease equipment or something like that to use on the pier.
I couldn't figure out how to translate that, so I'm glad you did. Thank you for that.
It's a leasing office. That's it.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Which is weird for it to be just so dark with people working. You would think somebody'd be occupying that while everyone's working.
It turns out somebody was occupied.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So from the shadows, there's a shower of sparks, and then finally it illuminates. Kano has been standing there the entire time looking out. And I love the glow that you see from his eye. It was I was wondering, like, why don't we see that glow even beforehand? Because like that glow is pretty prominent in a dark area.
Totally prominent. It's the same color as the dragon's eye in the prior scene.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, I know what that. Not that that has anything to do with it, but
That's
there you
okay.
have it.
But as soon as he's illuminated and revealed, he's like, "Yep, here I am. You know, come at me, bro." Sonya, of course, like immediately books it. It's like, there he is. Like, I got to go get him. And
Jax tries to stop her, of course. Right?
Tries, quote unquote, tries. But like the next line coming from Kano, you know, like that's right, baby, come to Papa.
Come to Papa.
And then he licks his lips, and it's so it makes me feel so gross. Yeah, and so icky. Like, are you watching that? I'm like, ew.
I'm gonna throw you a curveball on this scene. Do you believe that's Kano?
It like the actor playing Kano, or do you mean?
Do you think that's Shang Tsung?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that theory before.
Because once we get on the boat, who do we not see on the boat?
We don't see Kano.
And who
eventually
do we see?
But that's yeah. So that now, well, that's jumping a couple minutes ahead. But I do like that theory. It's a good theory. That is pretty interesting. I had never thought of that before.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't see why it. Well, but even then, I don't see why it would be Shang Tsung. Once again, if we're going off the theory that, you know, Shang Tsung can only shapeshift into the people whom he has already absorbed the souls of.
That's fair. In the video game, that's not exactly true. Fair. So I could see either way, either explanation to be correct. Although I'm very when it comes to Mortal Kombat, you know me as being a big believer in just the video game story itself.
Right.
So I see that as like Shang Tsung can do that. Although Shang Tsung did turn into his Johnny Cage's what's his
Sensei.
name? Sensei.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess maybe if in your thing, we would assume that he killed his sensei.
Yes. Exactly.
But mine, he just acted like he was him.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So we both have our own little fan theories going on. I like it. But like as Sonya's booking it towards the boat, you know, and then Kano is going up the gangplank and boarding the boat.
Yep.
I love Jax's like, just like, Sonya, don't get on that thing. Hey, Sonya. Like, I don't know why he's whispering. He should be yelling. It's almost like he's
well, they're kind of undercover and they don't want anybody to know that they're there.
Yeah, I guess. But for me, it seemed like he was almost like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, being like, no, yeah, don't stop, come back.
So that's kind of funny. Yeah.
So
I look at it like they're trying not to give away their location,
their position. Yeah, because in the script, Jax is hesitant, saying like, "Hey, we don't have a warrant to get on that boat."
Yeah, that's true.
And Sonya said, "I'm not one for paperwork." I don't know why that line stuck with me from the script, but
she's not.
She's not. But anyway, back to the actual movie though. Sure. We go back to a wide shot of Sonya running into the fog.
Oh my God! I have to point out one thing about that real quick.
Do it.
She is an awful on-screen runner. Oh. like Nicolas Cage awful on-screen runner, and that's saying a lot. I don't know if you ever seen Nick Cage run on in a movie. It's awful.
I have to say I have not really paid enough attention in movies to judge actors and actresses by their running style.
Oh yeah, dude, on-screen running to me is like bread and butter, man. Like I see that and I'm just like, ooh.
I learned something about Spanish. There we go.
Yeah, right. Learn to run. But
well,
anyway.
Okay, so I can see why you were distracted with the way that Sonya was moving. I, on the other hand, was distracted.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Was the ship moving?
It was totally leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Because like whenever I absolutely first saw this movie, I thought like, no, that has to be an optical illusion. The ship can't be moving. She's running towards it. She's about to jump on it. Like I figured it was an optical illusion because, you know, smoke machine guy left the smoke machine on and billows of smoke are just coming out, and you know, just because the wind has caught the smoke now, it's making it look like the ship's moving farther away from the dock. But no, like as I was rewatching this minute, like I the shot stationary. So I put my finger on the boat and I put another finger on the dock for reference. And then I played the movie with my thumb.
Yep.
And yeah, sure enough, the boat is actually moving.
And what I love it because the scene right before she's running towards the boat, you see Kano walking up the ramp. And literally the very next scene, like, I mean, from that scene to this scene is her running and the boat's moving. So in that whole time that he's walking up that ramp, I guess the ramp was gone.
Yeah, maybe it was retracting or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, of course. So I don't know if listeners are annoyed with me constantly referencing the script, but
I love it.
I like to get the different perspective on it.
Yeah.
Because from the script, like Jax and Sonya are still on their stakeout while they're already starting to cast off the boat. Mm-hmm. And then Sonya spots Kano already on the boat. He's already on the deck. So he wasn't even on the dock anymore. He was already in the boat, and the boat is already casting off and about to go. And Sonya's running and then jumps onto a line that's currently being cast off to swing onto the boat.
Yes.
So that's how she gets on apparently in the script. I have no idea how she gets on in the movie.
It's almost not important.
If she does get on. That's the thing. We're not at that point yet. We don't know whether she gets on. I don't know. Does she?
Well,
I've only seen this 1,000 times.
That's for me too. I do want to point out that when you see the boat, you actually see both wings in this case.
Oh yeah, you do.
So like and like a really good shot of it too. And then you can also see like the eyebrows, which is actually that's actually right on when it comes to the logo itself. Is like the dragon has like these weird kind of like things that protrude out like from its eyebrows. That's very good. Like I like how they did that because that looks right. The wings still throw me off.
Yeah, the boat actually is probably one of my favorite like pieces in the whole movie for sure. I just love the architecture, the structure, I guess would be the proper term for it.
Yeah.
But from there we transition to actually being on the boat. Mm-hmm. And it's all flooded with blue light. I don't know where this blue light's coming from.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
But I like the use of the blue light though. It just, I guess it provides like a nice. It's a little soothing almost in a way. Like it's kind of like the calm before the storm. It seems like.
Well, how about this? So when you see, because it's like the camera's like behind like a structure, so it's like looking through it. It kind of has that artsy feel to it. And it shows that crank with the rope wrapped around it. Mm-hmm. Right underneath it, you can actually see the blue light. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, I actually have that shot. Okay,
like you could it's there because like as it goes past the light goes out.
Oh wow! Look at that. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like so. And then obviously there's that light in the background after that scene, like on the ground, and of course the fog machine is working overtime in this scene because you could see, it's like billowing over.
That fog guy's making sure he keeps his paycheck.
Yeah, man, and rightfully so because it definitely makes the scene.
Oh yeah. So I was too distracted by the one extra at the left of the shot of this entry shot whenever we're introduced to the boat, because he's just standing there by himself.
Yep.
And I know and after I watched it a few times, I'm like, oh, he's waiting for his cue. Because as soon as Lou passes a certain mark, then the guy starts to transition from the left side of the boat over to the right side of the boat with his bag.
Yeah, good call. That's funny.
And I was like,
okay. In a way, there's another guy going to the left. Let me see if I can see that. That's funny. I didn't really notice that. Well, yeah, there's one guy going to the left, and then once he gets past, then the guy on the right. So maybe he just couldn't get past, and he was letting the guy through.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm looking at that guy's a nice guy. That's where I'm at.
But I do like seeing like almost like a little Easter egg in the background for this minute is Johnny Cage with his mountain of luggage, just like waddling on board. Coming through with his Gucci bags.
And he has all of it. I mean, he's got it all.
It's impressive that he's able to hold all that stuff at the same time.
What does he need all that for?
But my last piece of trivia for this minute deals with the boat that we're on. because last minute Jax says, what is that? And I'm like, oh, I'm glad you asked, Jax. Speaking of which, that is the last time that we see Jax. I forgot to mention that in our previous minute. But anyway, we're dealing with this minute. But I'm glad that Jax asked, what is that? Because I have the answer. It's of course Shang Tsung's ship, but it's called the Dragon's Wing. It's referenced as the Dragon's Wing in the script and the book. So
that's where the wing comes from.
Exactly. See, so I'm glad
whoever built it took it literally.
Exactly. And going one point further, apparently the Dragon's Wing is the boat's old name, according to the Mortal Kombat fandom wiki. The most current name of it is actually called the Nethership.
Yes.
And it is a ghost ship that has no living crew on board, right, as is demonstrated from when it was coming up. And you can even see on the deck during this minute, there's the only people really are the combatants that are participating in this thing.
Yeah. It's funny because that's actually like kind of an old pirate tale. Like when you die, you end up on this unmanned ship. You know what I mean? Like it's so I feel like that's kind of they're paying homage to that. Because it makes sense, because it's actually a storyline from another type, another set of people. But in this case, I think they kind of pulled that in, and they kind of gave it that look, because it is kind of a pirate ship. At least that's, you know what I mean? That's what, but almost Viking too.
Yeah,
because of the dragon.
Exactly, I figured it kind of like a 1995 rendition of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, totally. Nice. Or the ship in Monty Python's Holy Grail.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. But I never thought I'd reference Monty Python in this, but there you have it. I'll have more stuff for later minutes pertaining to the ship, but for right now, that's kind of the only stuff that I have for this minute. I don't know about you. Do you have anything else? No, that's all I got.
All right. Well, we've reached the end of another episode, and thanks so much for joining us. Once again, I'm Phil Casper.
I'm Spanish.
And we'll see you next time on the Mortal Kombat Minute. Oh, we'll get it eventually.